Zoom, zoom, zoom on Zoom world. You call the tune. Hi, folks. Wabel kabum tubbo, zabum world. Maba nabim ubis dubba yubble. That means my name is Dual, welcoming you to Zoom World, a fun-filled YouTube channel devoted to the classic PBS kids show Zoom. Back again with another video. This time it's going to be a special one. Maybe not a special, but it's going to be a special three-parter as I bring to you episode number 50 of the Zoomer Spotlight. Now, this is and now that I'm done with the original Zoomers, I will be spotlighting the reboot Zoomers. However, unlike what I've done with the original Zoom cast, I show their actual intros, but through video and audio. This time I'm not going to do for the reboot Zoomers. It might be just a wee bit tough to do, but no problem. I'm going to try and show you maybe through a freeze frame or a GIF if I can find one. And I think I found one for the first reboot Zoomer. This one's been getting a little bit of a demand by a certain Marissa Oliver in ways because this gal is her favorite, of course. She's a favorite of everyone's. Well, in my opinion, but you'll have to take my word for it. So now, if you're ready, let's start the first of a special a special three-part Zoomer spotlight on the one, the only, the Queen of Zoom herself, Caroline Botelho. This is Caroline. I know this is I say I'd show a GIF and what have you. This is her from her season 2 intro. This is going to be spotlighting her run in the second season. Living Caroline is just so cute and adorable and what have you. She would be the Queen of Zoom because she was on the show the longest, 4 big seasons. Now, from what I've seen of this cutie, Caroline is definitely one of, if not the most cutest Zoomer gals of the reboot. But you don't have to take my word for it, as I've said. But anyway, now even though I read in an article that Xinging from seasons 5 through 7, the final season, was chosen as the cutest Zoomer out there, but I do think she's cute and all, but to me, Caroline is the cutest. But anyway, and I said she's a favorite of everyone. Well, I think it's factually true, but hey, there are many other people who probably like the other Zoomer gals that were on for a long time, like Elisa, Zoe, and let's see, Kaylee, Rachel, Alini, Courtney, and of course Xinging. Now, for this video, I'm going to be showing you only the second season with Caroline and what have you. Now, I was going to make this a two-part for seasons 2 and 3, but that would probably take a little too long and what have you. So I do apologize, and this is going to be the first of a three-parter. And you're going to see her through the second season. Now, Marissa Oliver, if you are watching, and I'm pretty sure you are, don't you worry none. I know you like Caroline the third season and what have you, then you will get that in the next part. I promise. If you haven't seen this one, well, I'll tell you more when I get to the third season, okay? So, Marissa, just stay tuned for it. But in the meantime, let's get this show on the road, because I am just way ahead of myself. Here we go. Here's Caroline reading a little bit of a poem that was sent into Zoom. Here's Caroline in a Zoom side experiment, which she's teamed with Ray, who was also introduced in the second season, creating a little bit of a musical instrument with a straw. Here's Caroline along with Zoe in a Zoom Playhouse segment where Caroline's character is saying there's monsters underneath the bed. Here's Caroline in a Zoom chat segment where she joins, Elisa right there, and there's Claudio, Zoe's there, And so is Kenny, who, of course, was also new to this season. Now, actually, from my point of view, I feel like she and Kenny kind of, well, got along together like brother and sister and what have you, kind of like Mara and David were on in the second season of the original Zoom. But hey, that's just my opinion. But you will see some of Kenny in this video. But like I said, you'll see other Zoomers in this vid. But even though this is on Caroline, you'll still see some other Zoomers as well. Promise. Let's move on, shall we? Here's Caroline in the play The Red Bench, the last bit. See what I mean? This was a fun play. Which, of course, they would do 4 other parts of that play, as a matter of fact. And let me tell you, Caroline does a pretty good job in her act in the end of those, the next 3 parts. But we'll show those in the next couple videos, okay? Moving on. Oh, and P.S. If I miss a part with something with Caroline for this season, then I do apologize. I just want to try and get this as best as and fast as I can. Okay, we're really gonna move on this time. Here we see Caroline along with Elisa and Kenny, and Ray is with him in a little jump rope game. There goes Ray and Elisa, but of course now you see Caroline and Kenny together. Here's Caroline reading off some Z-mail with Kenny and Zoe and Claudio. You can tell by her hairstyle that's a comet tail. That's some kind of a name they call her. Not the actual series, okay? Here's Caroline, a little skit where you can send stories and stuff to Zoom through their website. Here's Caroline introducing a Zoom game to us. It's really a challenge. It involves a net, like what you use at tennis or volleyball, something like that, you know. Now here's Caroline reading off another poem that was sent in to Zoom. And here's Caroline, a little skit with Claudio. Yeah, look at her holding that prop dumbbell. Here's Caroline in another Zoom Playhouse segment. Yeah, she's joined by Ray and Elisa and Jesse. And then, of course, one more comes along. Oh, yeah, the guy with that weird hairstyle. That's just William White. I got a feeling that's Claudio. Okay, let's move on. Now, there's Caroline along with Zoe and Claudio, and they're going to try to balance some tennis balls between certain parts of the body. That's really something. Here's Caroline dressed as a mailman delivering a package to Jesse in a joke skit. Here's Caroline another joke. I mean, this one's with Ray. There's Caroline, and there was Ray, and there's Jesse and Zoe in a little challenge that Kenny's taking part. Here's Caroline introducing us to a Zoom Zinger segment. This is really something. I think Zoom Zingers are fun. Of course, they're similar to the Zoom Barrel segment from the original series. Here's Caroline up there, and she's doing a little bit of a fun Zoom side experiment with Elisa. And it involves eggs. Okay, and there's Caroline joining Elisa for a ZOOMfan1. It involves a little something with your index fingers. Now, here's Caroline at the start of a Zoom episode where they're about to do a challenge involving their shoelace, tying their shoes. Here's Caroline in a Zoom do segment where you make a potato stamper. Well, something like that, involving paint and obviously it can make wrapping paper and what have you. That's really something. Here's Caroline reading some Z-mail off to them. That, of course, I should mention is like Zoom mail from the original series. Here's Caroline taking part of a little bit of a zinger with the gang. Here's Caroline dressed up as a little doggy in the beginning of the Zoom Playhouse segment, The Man and the Farmer, which that's really funny. There she goes with the sandwich. It looks like a burger, but she's so cute at that little doggy. I love the way she went cross-eyed. That was pretty gosh darn funny. All right, moving on. Here's Caroline sitting with Zoe. She's introduced us to a little game introduced at the beginning of an episode with Elisa and Claudio participating. And there's Caroline. You just saw her. She's with Ray. Did a little experiment with a little bit of an eyedropper to drop water onto where a marker has drawn a circle on a paper towel. That's really something. Well, there's a gang cheering on Caroline. She's going up against Claudio in a little race where you have to squirm around in a sleeping bag. This is from a stinger that's featured at the end of the show. Caroline's want to know if Zoe, Claudio, and Ray had hit some waves. They just explained to her that they went to pbs.org. And you gotta love the expression Caroline's face at right there. So cute. Here's Caroline reading off another poem. And here's Caroline reading off a little more Z-mail. Okay, here's Caroline along with Zoe in a ZOOMfan1 segment. And let me tell you, this one turns out to be a good one. Here's Caroline in Cafe Zoom, where she's making a fruit letter, which that's kind of like fruit roll-ups in ways. Here's Caroline again. She's joined by Elisa for this Zoom side experiment. Then followed up with using an eyedropper to drop wires on how to make the wire drop get really big on a penny. Here's Caroline over there with Kenny, whom, of course, Marissa dubs him King of Ubby Dubby Rap, which that's something he did with Ray in the first episode, but I'll get to that when I talk about him. They are joining Elisa and Zoe and creating a little bit of a little boat thing they could use in inflatable pool right there. Here's Caroline in another little segment where she created a little bit of an experiment with a little thing where you can put two cups together and spin them. That looks really cool. Here's Caroline right there. She's introducing another little Zoom game or zinger along with Ray and Jesse. Here's Caroline once again in Cafe Zoom, only this time she's about to prepare to make some mini deep dish pizzas, which I thought that was a real good treat. Here's Caroline, there's Ray, Jesse, and Kenny doing a really funny game. Here's Caroline at Cafe Zoom again. Only this time she's creating like a little bit of a special type of honeycomb using well, old cereal, kind of preferably like Cheerios and peanut butter and honey. Yeah, it looks like a pretty good treat to try out, you know. Okay, here's Caroline going up against Claudio in a little game that involves water balloons. Well, you can see Zoe here can't play because she's allergic to latex, but I'll tell you more about that when I get to a Zoomer spotlight on her. Here's Caroline reading out some more Zoom mail. We see Kenny and we see Ray. Yeah, they're all listening to the Zoom mail. I mean the Z mail. Zoops! There's Caroline along with Claudio, and Ray's mentioned the instructions for a zinger, which that's going to prove to be a real good challenge. I always liked these since I started watching the reboots and since I didn't watch a whole lot. Now I've come to like this just as much as the original. And the objective of that zinger was you had to like do a drum while moving one of your legs or something like that. Let's move on. And here's Caroline in an Ubby Dubby segment where she's playing this magician. And I gotta tell you, this gets really funny. Here's Caroline introducing a Zoom do segment that she and Ray are going to do with making a paper airplane. Special kind, that is. Here's another Ubby Dubby segment with Caroline fishing. Yeah, this was pretty funny. Here's Caroline in a Zoom site experiment where she and Zoe here are creating a telephone, but using plastic cups. Here's Caroline in the beginning of The Case of the Missing Shoe, another Zoom playhouse. This is a pretty fun play. Here's Caroline in a funny restaurant skit with Claudio. Here's Caroline introducing a real challenging zinger that she does with Jesse and Ray. Yeah, let me tell you, this one looks like a challenge. Okay, I see it had to deal with writing parts of the body that had like only 3 layers or something like that. Yeah. Alright, moving on. There's Caroline along with Elisa from another Zoom playhouse about a detective who was a bit clueless and what have you. Yeah. And there's Ray with him. That's Caroline right there. There's Claudia and there's Jesse. And to draw what the other one's trying to draw. This is a real challenge of a zinger. Okay, this is from another challenge of a game and what have you. Well, I believe it was a Zoom site segment. I went through so quickly. There's Caroline right there, along with Elisa and Jesse and Claudio. Had to like do measuring from a layer from the big mail basket that's got the Zoom mail and what have you. Yeah, the Z mail. Zoops again. Here's Caroline introducing us to another fun-filled game at the beginning of an episode. We see Caroline right there, joined by Claudio, Elisa, and Jesse, plus Kenny. And another challenge that involved letters and what have you. There's Caroline right there, chatting with some of the gang in a Zoom chat segment. And there's Caroline with Claudio in the last bit of a Zoom playhouse. It involved like a candy bar. And here's Caroline chatting with the game. This is from another Z-mail segment. Here's Caroline introducing another zinger, where it involves glasses of water. Here's Caroline right there participating in a fun game, or zinger, where trying to guess the name of a character or a place or something like that, you know. If you haven't seen the video yet, that's Caroline as the witch from the Sleeping Beauty remake Zoom Playhouse segment, which has already gotten 100 views already. Thanks for watching that, by the way. Okay, now this is from Cafe Zoom. Jesse did this, but anyways, Kenny and Caroline join her for a little bit of making sandwiches and stuff like that, you know. There's Caroline feeling a little unhappy, and here comes Kenny as Ubby Dubby Man. Here's Caroline in the beginning of a Zoom size segment, where she's joined by Ray and Claudio. And in that Zoom size segment, um, they all had to do something, well, with straws and other things to make kind of a flat piece of wood board move. And Claudio and Ray did a great job on that. Alright, almost finished. Let's move on. Zoops. Sorry. Let me try again. Let's move on, shall we? Here's Caroline introducing a little Zoom game where she's going to participate with Jesse and Elisa, trying to balancing a ball on there, well, right between the eyes and the nose, you know. Well, you know what I'm trying to say, okay? Okay, here's Caroline introducing another Zoom site segment, and it involves, well, marbles, which she and Jesse are going to do for this little bit. Here's Caroline in a Zoom playhouse, and she's just driving around a prop car, and it's getting stopped by police officer Ray. There's Caroline, a little skit with Kenny, being, well, as Kenny is the hypnotist, and he's going to try and put our little friend Caroline to sleep. Will that possibly ring any bells with our friend Marissa Alva? I'd say so. If he had put Caroline to sleep, it'd be, wake up, Caroline! I just threw that in there, Marissa, see if you were just paying attention and everything. But I'm serious about this. This is a very good skit. Now here's Caroline in a ZOOMfan1 segment with Jesse, if I'm not mistaken, yes. And I'm gonna say this is really a good one. That involves water poured into a big plastic container of a tub, a pitcher, and even a jug. Well, the jug is where you have to get the water out. Now, here's a real challenge of a little zinger. It involves Caroline and Kenny. Well, Caroline's trying to stand, and Kenny's trying to stand, you know, I'll blink an eye or something. Yep, there we go. Here's Caroline and Elisa joining Ray and Kenny as they finish a Zoom do with a little thing to make cereal come out of instead of the box. There's Caroline and Zoe right there. And they're competing against some others. Yeah, Jesse and Ray. And then we can make more than one word out of a certain big word. And Kenny's the guy in charge, you know. Here's Caroline introducing off a Zoom game. Well, you had to like flip the pancake, but only in this case a plastic lid. Here's Caroline doing an introduction with some of the Season 1 Zoomers back for this special episode. And of course, those were the 5 that left, but came back for the next to last episode, which of course were Pablo, Keiko, Lanice, David, and Jared. Here's Caroline along with Keiko making a dream catcher in a Zoom segment. Now, as a matter of fact, Caroline actually did do this by herself alone in a Zoom into Action bit on, well, that you can find on WGBH's YouTube channel. Look it up. Here's Caroline on a little funny skit with Zoe. There's Caroline along with Zoe creating a little fun thing that can, when you spin around, it kind of makes like shows an eye that you use with a marker and what have you, make it move like an animated thing. Well, I think you understand what I'm trying to say. Here's Caroline introducing a play called Lost and Found Sheep. There's Jessie right there. Last but certainly not least, there's Caroline giving her ending to the story. Well, there you have it. This is the end of part 1 of Zoomer Spotlight number 50 on Caroline. I do hope you enjoyed this, and I know if Marissa was there, she'll probably respond and what have you. And rest assured, your favorite season and mine, season 3 on Caroline, will be coming up in a few days, okay? So bear with me. So, and if anybody else would like to participate, if YouTube will let you, leave a comment if you like this video. Click the like button, subscribe, and be a part of this great nation that is Zoom World. And again, stay tuned for part 2 of my Caroline Spotlight, where I'll spotlight her in Season 3. So I do hope you enjoyed this, and if you did, check out these other fun vids I had done from the reboot that has Caroline in it. In the upper left-hand corner is the Zoom Playhouse on the Sleeping Beauty remake. The upper right-hand corner is Miss Pattywhack and the Frog from Season 3, which I will show a brief clip of in the next video. Or if you would like, go to the bottom left-hand corner and see the very first Zoomer Spotlight I did on my favorite 70s Zoomer gal, Mara Mulaney. And the bottom right-hand corner is the button you can click to subscribe. If you like the classic PBS Kids show Zoom, then this is the place for you, Zoom World. Thanks for watching. Until next time, this is your friend Joel saying, see ya.